let's work with the HTML part. Let's see the HTML. Now, before moving to the HTML, it's very important that the application which we are going to use, that is the text editor which we are going to use, is VS Code. So in our entire journey, we are going to use the VS Code, okay, as a text editor. If we are developing an application for React or for JavaScript, it is suggested that you must use VS Code. So just from where you can just search on Google, you can just search for VS Code. That is VS Code download. Okay. Now remember, guys, VS Code is a separate application which is having a logo in blue color. Okay. It's having a logo in blue color. This one. Okay. So you will just install that. So just I will show you the process how to do it. So first search on Google, okay, regarding the VS Code, the very first link will be there. So click on that link. And then depending on your operating system, like in my case, I'm in Windows, so I will just click on download. Okay, so it will just say get started. And it will give you some guidelines also. Okay, so it has a huge support, okay, for the different programming languages. Just I will click on the, just I will click on that setup, okay. So the setup will be we will get an installation wizard for it. So you guys will install that installation wizard. You will just install it by following the same process. So you will say I accept, then just say next. Then it will ask you to where to install it. It will ask you where to install it. So it will give some path, okay, and it will just say at least 353 MB space must be free. So then say next. It will ask you that do you want to create a start menu folder? If you want to create, you can just say yes. Then say next. Here I will request you all to tick all the options, all of them. There are 5 checkboxes. So just check on all of the checkboxes. And then just say next. And then it will ask you for the installation process. So you can just simply make an installation process by installing it. Okay. So it will be get installed. It will be get installed without a trouble. And it will be get installed with your user. Okay, that is a specific user, it will be get installed. So this is the way how you can just do the stuff. Okay. Now those who are already having that one, okay, those who are having all that one or installed, so don't worry about it. And currently no need to install, okay, simultaneously. Remember, currently there is no need to install it. Okay. So just I will say finish and it will be get launch. Now in my case, I have already installed it. Okay. So in my case, it will not show me any relevant output for that. But in your case, there will be a new icon that is called the VS Code icon. This will be the icon which you will have. My VS Code settings are a bit different. Okay. So you may feel some difference in my code and in your code. Okay. Or in your VS Code. So in VS Code, you are having multiple options where you can just make some changes and settings. Okay. So I will just zoom it a bit. So you can see that one relevant project is open. Okay. That is a previous batch project is open in my case over here. It is just showing me that one. So I will just close that one. And for you guys, I will just create a separate folder over here. Just double click on this VS Code. Okay. And you can just drag and drop this folder in VS Code. Okay, that's it. You just need to do that one. Just drag and drop it over here. So that will automatically open your folder, okay, without a problem. Okay, or you can do one more thing. Okay, just do one more thing. Just drag this folder and drop it on the VS Code icon. So automatically it will open that VS Code in that given folder. Okay, so you must be able to open that in your project directory. There are different ways which you can do. This is one of the way which I will suggest to you guys. Okay, this is one of the way which I will suggest to you guys. Just drag the folder and drop it in your VS Code icon or on your VS Code icon. You will see a UI which looks something like this. By default, you will also get it like this one. Okay, so there are 3 parts. At the left side, you will have some icons. Then you will have some directory structure. Here you will have a blank space. That is a directory. And the file name will be there, like say get started or welcome will be there. Okay. So the major portion where we are going to work is under the get started. Okay, because here we are going to write our code, the entire code. Okay. To create a file, you will see there is an Explorer is written. Okay. And next to the Explorer, you will see there are different icons are available. So the first icon is to create a file. So let's say that I want to create a file. So I will just click on the first one. And you can give a file name whatever you want. Like I will give a file name like intro.html. Okay. And also we can create a folder, like I will create a folder like the sample folder. You can just give any name. As I'm creating the files and folder, you will see that in my project directory also, there will be the reflection. See, here is the reflection. So the sample folder and intro file is available. So whatever you will create in text editor, whichever file you will create in text editor, those all file will be created actually, okay, means they will be permanently available. And that is how we will just work with it. Okay. It's an example. Okay. So like I can create a file called as like say abc.txt also. So you can just create any type of file under the VS Code. Okay. You can just create any type of file under the VS Code. Okay. So this is how the VS Code can be used. So you can just open multiple files of under the VS Code, and then you can close those files also. There is no problem. Okay. You can just open n number of files, whichever, how much you want. But it is suggested that only open minimal file because it will consume your RAM. Because one file will consume some space on RAM for temporary usage. That application will get more space for that. So it is suggested that you must use the way over here. Now the question is that what is exactly the HTML and why we use it? So the HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. What is the full form of HTML is? It's a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. Okay. It's a hypertext markup language. So it's a hypertext markup language. So what is the use of hypertext markup language? Or what is the use of it? So it is basically used to create a layout for your web page. So I can say that HTML is used to create a structure for a web page. Now at the very beginning, I have shown you guys that how the page looks when it comes with the HTML, or how the page basically looks, okay, without a design. So just I will show you one more time by just deleting some of the code of this VS Code website. Just I will delete it. So this is how the HTML will look like at the very beginning, because it's a skeleton. It's a skeleton, or it's a structure for your web page. Now, when we deal with the HTML, you will see that some text are big in size, some are small in size. Also, the video is also added in this particular page. Also, you will say some of the text is having some underline with them. And if I just scroll a bit up, you will see that there is some list is also there. See, the lists are also there. So it means that HTML, whenever we work with HTML, we work with some layouts, we work with some text, we work with some images. But all the text and images will not have appropriate shape and size how we want to develop a beautiful website. So that's why it is called as a skeleton. That's why it is called as a skeleton. Okay. So if I want to develop any type of website, the very first thing which we do is we create a skeleton. Okay. Yeah. So it's a skeleton. Now, like this is something how it will be one to you guys. Okay. Or this is how something the page looks like. So now the question comes over here. Like say, as I've stated you guys that HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. Again, the VS Code has been installed. Okay, I just need to close it. Okay, yeah, let's cancel it. Yeah, fine. So HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. Now the question comes that what is a hypertext and what is a markup? So basically the hypertext means there are the two meanings of the hypertext. First, we can say that when I want to move from one page to another page, I want to move from one page to other page. Okay, we need the symbolical text. So hypertext means we can just move from one page to another page by a means of symbolic representation or by the means of symbols. Symbols means which are like, say, having some decorations. Okay, the symbols, symbol and text. Okay, and basically there is one more meaning of hypertext. Hypertext is nothing but it's a combination of symbols and text. Hypertext is nothing but it's a combination of symbols and text. Okay, symbol and text. Okay, so the huge combination of it, we commonly say it is a hypertext. It is not a normal text. So it will have some symbolical representation and the text representation. Okay, and the question is that, like, say that what is a markup? Now remember guys, markup is nothing but it's a syntax. Syntax structure. It's a syntax structure, or it's a syntax to create a HTML code. Okay, it's a syntax structure to create a HTML code. Now the question is that how this markup looks like. Technically, how they looks. Okay, so in HTML, markup looks something like this. In HTML, markup looks something like this. So the syntax structure of markup is like this. We are having a less than sign. It is also called as angle brackets. Then we have a markup name. Okay, then we have a markup name. And simply we just close that markup name by using one more angle bracket. This is technically called as an open tag. It is called the opening of tag. And there is one more, which will have the less than sign. Okay, there is an angle bracket, then it will have a slash. Before it, this slash will be the first one. Okay, that is the alternative of question mark. And then again we use the markup name. Okay, and then again we close that one. This is called the close tag. Okay, this is called the close tag. Apart from that, there is one more syntax in which we use a markup name, and at the end just we will close that one. This last one is so called as self-closing tag. It is called as a self-closing tag. So the markup is nothing but it's a syntax to create a HTML code, and the syntax looks something like this. Okay, so it looks something like this. So this is something how the syntax works. Now the question is that do we are going to create our own syntax pattern? The answer is no. So in HTML, these all syntax are predefined. So in HTML, all syntax are predefined. Predefined means they are already created. We just need to use them. Okay, we just need to use them. That's it. A simple and sober. It's very good, right? So we don't need to create any of the markup. That is any of the markups. Okay, we don't need to create them. They are already available. So everything is by default available in HTML element. So this markup names. So there are different markups which are available in HTML. Okay, and we will see them one by one. So I will just enlist that which are the markups which we are going to see. Okay, and all these markups are already created. So they are predefined. Technically, we call them as a predefined. They are created. Now to work with HTML, we use a file which is having the extension as HTML. Okay, or HTML. So either you can use HTML or HTML, any one of it. Okay, nowadays we use HTML. Previously, When in 1998, 1999, HTML was used. Now also some of the websites use them. Okay. But nowadays we use HTML only. So if I want to work with HTML code, okay, by default we must use HTML. Create the file with the extension of HTML or .html. Now I will prefer to use HTML. So here I will create a file. Already I've created the file, so I will delete it. Okay, just I will delete that file and I will create it over here. That is, I will say today is our intro. So I will say intro.html. So this HTML is an extension. Now many of the candidates who might have created this file, you will not get this icon which I'm having with me. Okay, this is the icon of HTML file. That is due to I have installed some extension with it. So I will provide the extension list afterwards, not right now. Let's see how to create our first HTML page. So let's create the first HTML page. Okay, so let's create a first HTML page. So I will just say my first HTML page. Let's create it. So here we will see that how to create a basic HTML page. So to create a basic HTML page, we will need 3 different types of markups. Okay, but before that, I need to show you some more things. So what we do basically when we create a HTML code, we use our open tag, that is a markup. The first markup, that is open tag, which is this one. Okay, we use close tag also simultaneously. So the code looks something like this. It is like say open tag with markup name. Okay, and then we have a close tag with it. So if the tag is not self-closing, that in the end, if it is not having slash, then it will have a separate opening and it will have a separate closing. So here I will just say markup name. Okay, and in between this, I can write some content, or you can say it as a text also. Content, or you can say it as a text also. So this entire thing means this particular opening element, opening markup, that's open tag, then the content or a text, or a closing tag. The combination of 3 is called as a HTML element. So technically we see them as a HTML element. Which one? This entire thing. So this combination is called as a HTML element. This entire combination is called as a HTML element. Remember this. This is something which is important. This is something which is important over here. Yeah. Now the most important thing is that, so let's see that how to create a very basic page by using these elements. So we will have these elements. So in HTML, there are main 3 elements. First is called as a HTML. Second is called as a head. And third is called as a body. So first is called as a HTML. Second is called as a head. And third is called as a body. HTML is nothing but it's a parent element. Parent means it's a main element. You can say it as a parent, main, or technically we say it as a root element. Okay, you can just call it anything. It's a root element. So your page must start always with HTML. It's very important. Then also we have the second element called as a head element. This head element is technically used to store the page information. To store the page information. And the third is nothing but it's a body element. So it is used to display the data. So whatever we see on the web page, like say you can see on my screen, I'm having different sites. So whatever you are watching on my screen, that is from this particular portion. Okay, from this particular portion till here, everything comes under the body only. Okay, so the entire thing comes under the body only. So what this means? It means that, just a minute guys. So what this means? It means that when we work with HTML, so whenever we work with HTML, these 3 elements are compulsory. You must use these 3 elements compulsorily. Okay. So the HTML is nothing but it's a parent element. Then we will have a head which stores the page information. Page means HTML page, current page. And the body is nothing but it is used for the display purpose. Okay, so let's use it like this. So let's see the structure over here. Okay, so let's see a structure. So let's create a structure. So the very first, I will just use a markup syntax structure like HTML. Now, as we are going to use VS Code, as soon as I try to close that element, automatically it suggests me that closing is there, and it closes automatically. That is a good thing of VS Code. One more thing is that if I directly type HTML, if I hit enter, still the syntax structure will be get created. So no need of writing everything. Okay, that will boost your coding way. Boosting means you can type it rapidly. So just I will start, like I will say I will have HTML page, sorry, HTML element. And inside this HTML element, it is divided into two parts. One will have a head and the second will have a body. So the first one will have a head and the second one will have a body. Means the first will be head, second will be body. Inside the head, the information is stored. Inside the head element, the information is stored. And inside the body, the display is been done. So whichever the things I want to show to the page, we just use that one. We will have the head and we will have the body. Now the question is that, which are the elements which are used in head commonly? So I will list out some elements which we use commonly. Okay, that's the elements which we use commonly. I will not explain all of them. Okay. So I will not explain them all at once here, but I will just show you that which element we use in head section, because there are limited elements in head section. So the first element which we use in head section is a title. Then there is one more element called as a link. Then there is one more element called as a style. Also there is one more element called as a meta. And we have one more element called as a style. Okay. So these are the typical elements which we use. Now one by one, as we are going to move forward, I will explain them all. But currently, let's see that what is use of title. Okay. So these are the elements which we use in head. Title, link, style, meta, and script. Not a style, sorry, script. So the script element we use it. Okay. So one by one I will enlist them all. So don't worry about it. So now here I will just write like say hello and welcome to HTML. Okay, and let's save this one. So I will not write anything in the head also currently. Let's save it one. Okay. So now to run this particular page, there are a couple of ways. The first way is that just open your project in the directory, just open that one. So I will make a right click to the file and then I will say reveal in the file explorer. That will open my project directory. And then if I just make a right click, so there is an option which is called as open with. And on clicking of Google Chrome, simply you can see that file has been opened. It is saying hello and welcome to HTML. This is the traditional way which you can use. Okay. This is the traditional way which you can use. You will say that this is one of the way. Now you can try this way and you can use this way also. But the problem of this particular way is that if I try to change some code, like I have removed welcome to, I will just say Eureka. And if I save this, I need to refresh it manually. And in development, like say if you are developing an application, it is not good to refresh the page again and again. So what if we have something in such a way that as soon as I type something, like I have just used Eureka, and just I will say it's awesome here. And if I save this, automatically I want that on my browser, there must be the reflection. Automatically it must get refreshed. So for that, what we can do, we can use a live server. We can use a live server. What is a live server? So live server is an extension. Okay. So live server is an extension. So in VS Code, you will find at the left side, you will find this 4 box icon. This icon is called as an extension icon. So if you just click on this extension icon, you will get extensions like this. Now, some of the extensions are installed in my case, some are recommended to me. Now I'm having 19 19 extensions which have been installed by me. Okay. So in your case, it might not be there if you are new to the VS Code. So you can search the extension from the search bar. You can just search the extension from this search bar. Okay. You can do that one. So let's search it over here. Okay. Let's search it. So just I will search for live server. Okay. And there is a developer name as a Ritvik Day. Okay, so the live server who have been created by Ritvik Day, you will just see it over here. So just click on it and you will get an installation icon like how I'm having over here currently. Okay, it's the same icon, you will get it over here. And if you click on that particular live server, you will get the install icon over here. So just click on that install icon. And depending on your internet speed, it will install. It will not take much more space. So don't worry. Just install it. Once it has been installed, just do one thing. Close your VS Code and again open it. Just double click and just open it. Now the previous project directory will be as it is. That is a good thing of VS Code. That it opens our project in the previous directory. So see, the project is there. Okay, we are having the same project without a trouble. But now you will have some more options with the VS Code. And that is something which you can see at the bottom, which is called as a live server. It will just say go live. So if I just click on this one, it will say me that to go live. Okay. And automatically it will open a page over here. So just I'll open one tab. Let's use that one. So it will open, it will just ask me some things. I will just say allow. Yeah. And you will see that it has been opened. See, now the awesome thing is that I will close. Okay, I will just do one thing. Instead of using it over here, I will just use one web tab only. So let's use it in a new tab. Okay, just have copy pasted the code. So now in my case, it is just opening the Chrome. Okay, that's it. So what you will do, guys, you will just install that extension called as a live server. Once it is installed, okay, just restart it. Just restart your VS Code, means close it and start it again. And then you can just see the icon at the bottom. Now, sometimes it may be possible that your icon is not available. So do a simple thing, just create the HTML page. Minimum this much code must be there in HTML page. Make a right click, you will see that there will be the option called as open with live server. Just click on it. And the same thing will happen. See, it has been open. The same thing will happen. It might be case that if you are not admin, you will not able to run this live server properly. So you can use the older way, which is this one. No issue with that. So don't worry if your live server is not working. So even though if you are getting any error, you can ignore it currently. Just use this traditional way to check your HTML code. That's what I will suggest you right now. Now, if I just try to save this one, see, I will remove like say it's awesome here. And just I will say welcome to Educator. As soon as I save, you will see that the live server is refreshed automatically. That is, the live page has been refreshed automatically. And I just need to refresh this one manually. Okay. So that is a major difference between these two. A very major difference. And that is what I will suggest to you guys to just do or to experiment it. Now the question is that sometimes it happens like you will see one thing that like when I'm using my page, okay, like say Edureka is having some title at the top. See here also Google is also having a title at the top. Also like say this web intern is having a title, okay, the XDV is having a title. But our page is not having a title. Why this is so? The reason is that the reason for it is we have not used or we have not used a title, okay, till now. So the title is an element which we use inside the head element. So if I just say title, it is commonly used to define a page title. So see, the description is given. The title element represents a document's title or a name. So in between these two in between this opening and closing title, we can write a title name, like say intro to HTML page. And let's save this. And the magical thing is that now you can see that I'm having that one over here. Okay. So now a page is also having a title. But you will see one thing that every website is having their unique icon. But we are not having our unique icon. It doesn't look good, right? So we will change this icon in our upcoming sessions. Technically, that icon is called as a fave icon. We will change that. The element which we have seen till now, under the head section, we are having the element called as a title. And it is used to create a title. Okay, it is basically used to create a title for a page. It is basically used to create a title for a page. Okay, create a title for a page, which can be viewed in the tab. Okay, we can just view that in the tab. We can view that in the tab or it in the tab. Okay, we can just view that in the tab. Simple. So this is what we are just having with a title element. Nothing more than that. Okay. Now it may be possible, like say, sometimes it happens like I want to write something in HTML. Like I want to write, like say, this is a HTML code. And if I save this, you will see that it will be get printed in HTML. But sometimes it happens that I don't want to show that in my output. I don't want to show it, but I want to keep it for my reference. Reference means as we are a developer, we write something, okay, for our hints. So if you want to write something as a hint only, and if you want to don't show that on the HTML page, for that we use the comments. Okay, we use the comments.